Hello and welcome to Core Women. My name is Dr. Summer Watson, and I'm the founder of Core Women, and I'm also an empowerment strategist for women. So if you're listening to this podcast to delve more into empowerment strategies, well, you're here for the right reason. However, Core Women was also developed because it's a special place that provides a unique idea of home for the hearts and souls of women. It's a place for us to share our strength, energy, wisdom, and authenticity. It's a place for women to find support and strategic empowerment ideas that will help support their lives. Today on the show, I'd like to welcome Sondra Diggs from the Washington, D.C., Maryland Metropolitan Area. She is a Lumbee Native American, owner-in-chief Smile Ambassador of Glitter Me This and Company, and creator of Girlfriend Therapy in a Box. Let's get right into talking about your journey, Sondra, and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm excited to have you here. Welcome. And thank you for being on the Core Women podcast. So let's talk about your journey of being a single mom, caretaker of aging parents, a CPA, a corporate CFO, a multi-million-dollar international company, and how this journey led you to being the owner and chief Smile Ambassador of Glitter Me This and Company and creator of Girlfriend Therapy in a Box. And that was a mouthful. So I know we have a lot to talk about.
Right? Yeah. So, I tell my girls now, I have 2 teenage daughters, and I tell them now, gosh, just do what you're passionate about. Do what you're passionate about. When I was growing up, it really wasn't about that. It was really about survival, and just, trying to figure out how to get out of where you grew up and how to be somebody and be something and climb the ladder and all that. In an early age, had that ambition. My parents were entrepreneurs, but, a small company, and just, I watched them struggle and do their thing. But I was very determined and had my little goals and set them and, put myself through school and realized that money was coming as a CFO, as a CPA. So I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go after that. So I, did that role and climbed the ladder and spent lots of years and missing probably my kids because their dad sort of had to do the the mom thing more than I could because I traveled around the world and we opened offices in different places. And, it's when you're in that C-suite of a corporation and you're the only female in that C-suite, makes it tough. So you can't, it's a little hard to say, oh, I got to run home for my kids. I got to do this. I got to do that. And in that time, it just wasn't, you just had to keep doing what the guys were doing, honestly. And so I just realized that, as time went on, I was like, I'm just missing my passion. And my passion, I had realized, was hospitality. I just loved hosting events. I loved hosting them at home, and I wanted to do all the holidays, and that other side of my brain was just kicking in with all the little crafts and, making sure all the details. And it was really about perfectionist. It's that type A personality. So that was kicking in. Yeah, that was kicking in. It was, it was in my career, but it was in that crafting part of it. And I just realized I was really, really passionate about making sure that when people walked in my door, that they had the best time of their life. So I ultimately ended up having the title at work, obviously as CFO, but then they would call me the Chief Fiesta Officer. Because I spent more time wanting to make sure that, are we having a good time here? Are we having a good time? Can we have a party? So I just realized, like, what am I doing, right? So I really enjoyed that part of it, and that's just turned into like a passion. And so I just started getting more into the fact that I loved entertaining my girlfriends and having them around and doing parties for them. And I was doing them while I was in my career and going through things, and then going through a divorce, and then going through, hard times at work, and my parents were aging, and, everything was just coming at me left and right. And I would indulge myself into doing these events for my girlfriends because I needed them around me, because I realized when I was with them, whether we went out for dinner or did something, that I was coming out renewed and restored and revived. Like I could then conquer the next day again. And that's kind of where it all started.
Gotcha. Okay. So how did you come to, I'm juggling so much that I want to make a transition. I need to take a step away from A, B, or C. How did you do that?
Yeah.
How did you strategize?
So, yeah, it kind of, what had happened is in the year of like 2016 and 17, the ball's coming at me. And I say this all the time. Life is like living in a batting cage, and you don't know what's coming at you. Is it a peach? It's sweet and it's going to be a good time, or is it a lemon and this is going to be sour and I'm going to figure out how to hit this ball, right? And they're coming at you really fast, because in a batting cage, the balls just keep coming at you, and that's what we do. We just keep swinging, and we figure out how to just deal with what ball came at you at what curve. And so that's what happens, is that I was in a period of time in my life where, oh my gosh, it was just raining with lemons, right? My father had realized he had Alzheimer's. I had to close his company down. My girls were teens and going through health issues.
Right.
And, you know, when you're a perfectionist mom and you think you've got the world at you and you're conquering everything, and then you realize that your girls are falling apart in this social media world, and you don't even understand their mindset of how they're thinking about themselves. You know, that right there, and I know so many women are dealing with that and they don't talk about it, but that's another issue. That was coming at me. And then my boss of 15 years had passed away. And I knew I had to step up to the plate to keep running the business with my other coworkers. And we were going to wind it down. And my boss, before he died, he was like 85 at that time. So he also had talked about, you know, closing the company. And we would just sit and have the greatest talks. And I'd talk about, he was such an entrepreneur. I'd say, how did you open this? How did you do this? And what did you do? And he's like, you know, you just do it. You just do it. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do it. And he just encouraged me to just go for it. I mean, I think when people just say, just go for it. And so I just started back then planning in my head that when this is all coming down, when this all kind of winds down, I'm going to do it. And what happens is that you finally need something that just kicks you out the door. We can talk about it. I talked about it for years with my girlfriends, like, oh, I'm going to open this, or I'm going to do this. It's just ideas flowing. And until you get that kick out the door, it's something that kicks you. And his passing kicked me because I had to wind down the business. And I said, this is it. This is my kick. If this isn't my kick in the door, I don't even know what. And I'm about to turn 50. Well, you know what I mean? Like, let's just change it all at one time. Let's just do it all here at one time. Let's change life. And that was it. And I just said, okay, I'm going to close these doors. And while we were winding that down, that's when I just started thinking about the concept and digging deeper. And I think that evolves too. And I realize that when people say, you know, you might start something and fail at, or this, that, and the other, but when you take time to just really think about what you're going to do, it does start to evolve. I mean, I would get into something and start saying, oh, I want a box just with glitter because everybody loves glitter. And then I kept digging into, wait a second, what is that going to serve? What is that purpose? What is my true meaning here? What is my heart? And I just kept digging and digging and digging and digging. And then it just sort of flourished. And, you know, I closed the company and said, this is it. I'm going to start it.
That's
and
awesome.
Here we are.
That is awesome, because you think about, you're right. You're in a batting cage. And at that point, you've got a peach or a lemon coming at you, or, you know, something wonderful or something not so good. And you're in a point of survival almost.
Yeah.
Versus choosing the journey that you want to live. So something kicked you in the pants and it all came to a head. And you said, you know what, I'm closing that down and I'm starting this up.
It's that question of saying, when people ask you, if it wasn't about money, or if it wasn't about this, what would you do that makes you really happy? What makes you really happy? What are you doing? When are you at your happiest moment? And you keep asking yourself that. And I was like, I'm at my happiest moment when my girlfriends are around me and I'm standing back and I'm watching them enjoy each other, forget about their problems, laugh, cry, talk to each other, just having that moment off, that moment that just brings them a smile, that just does that. And I was passionate about making sure that when they walked in that door, everything was they didn't have to think. We think all day. We try to worry about this, that, and the other, and making sure every T's are crossed and I's are dotted. And I wanted them to walk in that door and nothing else They didn't have to ask where the food was, where this was, where the restaurant, everything's there. And they could just really enjoy the time that they had. And that feeling brought a smile. And I realized that when we're out together, whether we pick a restaurant to go to or, in your home or whatever, what are we doing? What is it that we feel when we're getting our girlfriends together? It's true therapy. We are sparkling because I just know that we all love some glitter, right? So some of us, whether it's your jewelry or something, whenever I walk out and I had something with glitter, women just stopped in the doctor's office. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. Oh, and it made them smile, right? I was like, this stuff is like crazy. Yeah, like women just stopped, man. I didn't even realize I had it on. I was like, okay. But then we're sparkling together and, what we always hear some music. I'm a lover of music, so I'm the first one to go, oh my God, that's my jam. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it makes you happy. Music makes you happy. You just want to move your body, whether you're dancing or just a chair sitting or whatever. It's in your ear. I like to be at places where there's music overhead. We're doing that and we're indulging. Okay.
Right.
And we indulge in our wine and our chocolates, our little dinner out, and it doesn't have to be excessive. It's that moment of indulge, that little bit. We only need a little bit to make us feel like, oh, that feels so good, right?
Right.
And then we're laughing, right? Because what is that? That is the best medicine on earth, laughter.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, then we're exhaling because we're in these little conversations with each other and we're going, oh my God, I felt that too. You did too? And so when I put that together, I'm writing it down. I'm like, I just created the word smile. Sparkle, move, indulge, laugh, and exhale. That's what we do. And it was just like, aha, the moment.
That's awesome.
And that's where I realized, okay, guess what? We're in this world. We're busy. We're 9 to 9. We're around the clock. We can't get to each other. But I know that as many times as I've dealt with those batting cages every single day that I just wished I had a girl say something to me or uplift me, or I had time to get out with my girls, but I couldn't. That I was like, I got to box this feeling up. I wanted to box the feeling up because if I could just send you something that stopped you at your front door, allowed you to open this gift, and when you opened it, every item made you go through that same experience that we would have for just a few moments. The sparkle, something in there to make you move, something in there to indulge in and laugh and exhale. And even and I tell you in the instructions, go to the closet, it's yours. Don't let anybody around you. Have your moment. Right. And that's really what it came into. I wanted to box it up.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And one of my questions was going to be, what was the aha moment for wanting to develop this? And you told us you wanted to box up that what I call feeding the heart and the soul, and our core group, which is core women, and kind of the same concept is bringing that core group together. And yet we can always extend that core group. And here you are, you love to give your girlfriends time away. You love to give them a retreat of sorts when they come into your home, when you're going out, and you were now able to offer them a retreat in a box.
It's girlfriend therapy in a box.
Yeah.
Girlfriend therapy in a box. So
how wonderful is that? Yes. So tell us about this Glitter Me and this and company and girlfriend therapy in a box and what this offers.
Yep. So we create it. So I have a business partner that I went to high school with, and I connected with her, and then she does her own little small, she's her small, like a marketing company. And we kind of, it's hard to work in a bubble by yourself. You got to, when you're creative, you've got to keep throwing those ideas out. So we got together and started, really digging into what this could be about. And, I went through the things that we go through as life, right? So I created a box for different themes. So I've got 6 of them that are the core boxes. And the first one is the Badass BFF box, right? So we all have that Badass BFF. And this box really stands for whether it's you're celebrating her milestone. So this could be for a birthday or something really good. Or she's just going through something and you just want to tell her she's a Badass BFF. She's got this. You got this, girl, right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of that generalized gift box that has those items in it. Each box has 5 items, and they all stand for the Sparkle Move Indulge Laughing Sale. They're branded items that I've gone out, searched, and fallen in love with. They're not the items that you're going to go, oh, that's cute, I'll throw it in my treasure box. No, they're going to be items that you're like, oh, I've never seen that. Oh, I want to try that. Oh, that's so cool. Let me try it. You know what I mean? Use it.
I love that.
Yeah, I definitely, just definitely about that. Or it's something to make you laugh, like I said, and you can use it or put it somewhere or those things. And so the Badass BFF box, then we have the Battle Box. And the Battle Box is when your girl is battling an illness, whether it's breast cancer or any kind of illness, whether it's an illness of her children or she's battling, aging parents. I have 2 parents, both have dementia issues. And so,
Wow.
I'm in the sandwich stage. I've got teenage girls and aging parents. Well, that's enough for you. So, so the caretakers out there, right? We're caretakers and they are battling it. So that box is a little bit more sentimental, but it's gosh, I have to stop when I talk about that box, because can I tell you, every time I send the box out, I'm literally in tears, because when I package that box up, and when you go on my website, you get to pick a card. There's 16 different cards, and we're sassy and funny, and we like to just say it like it is. So there's a card for that box, and several you can pick different, but there's one for that just says, "This sucks." Enough said.
Yeah.
Because that's all we need from our girl. We don't need to hear how great it's going to be and this, that, and the other, or how it may overcome. We get that. I just need somebody next to me that just gets it.
I love that.
Just is in my team. Be on my team. My team says, I want to say it sucks right now, sucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they don't need to offer like too much, but it's like, here you are. Nope. It's in a box, and this is going to make your day. And I'm on your side of the ring. It's,
right.
I get it.
So when they get to, type in their personal message and I write them, and when I'm packaging it, it's like a tears coming down my face going, I know this is going to bring her a smile. Like, I can't wait for this box to get there. And I can just see her smiling just in that moment. So then I have a box called the breakup box, because I don't know about you, but I hope everybody has wonderful relationships out there, but we go through divorces and breakups. And it's when your girl needs you. It's when she needs to know somebody's there. Right. So then that one, and then we have the beginnings box. So that is really for, we go through lots of new beginnings. My demographics, I really target, I would say 35 to 65, 70. These are the years we're really going through things. Not that you don't go through them beforehand, but the beforehand might be a little bit more on the up and up, like maybe it's baby time or bridal time, right? We haven't created those. So we're in the midst of, because I'm dealing with what I know that I've gone through and when I needed my girls the most. And so the beginnings box could be empty nesters. So you got kids going off to college and all of a sudden the house is empty. I need to know somebody's there. Yeah. The new, getting right into a new career, just like I'm doing, right? So when you step out of a career that has been mapped out, and I could wake up and do financial statements in my sleep, or just, with my eyes closed or whatever. But when you step out on your passion and something that you're just, just so your heart is so into it, it does bring with a whole new set of skill sets that you have to learn. It's a very humbling, so, being that new girl boss or out there, or if it's a great retirement gift. You're getting, if you're starting your retirement or a new home, it's a great housewarming gift. Right. For a girl going into a new home. So that the items are tailored to be around those themes. So then there's 2 more boxes that's a theme. And my greatest box, because I just know so much about, is called Burning Down the House. So when your girlfriend is going menopausal, she needs you. Because whatever you want to do, we're having hot sweats. We want to hurt everybody around us. Our moods are changing like left and right. And only you and I understand that. And, the weight gain is coming on and you're out of control of everything, like everything you can't even seem to get your hands around. And so that's just another moment in time, and there's something in it. There's even a fan in the box to stick on your phone, girl.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yes. And the last but not least is buy it yourself, the DIY box, because you can treat yourself. You don't need to wait for somebody to gift this. Let us be your girlfriend. We are your girlfriends. We'll send you the box. You know what I mean? Treat yourself. Know that we're sending you a smile, and that you deserve it.
Oh my gosh.
So when you can't be there in person, send girlfriend therapy right to her door.
Oh, I just love it. Oh my goodness. And yes, sometimes we need to remember to treat ourselves. And sometimes that means that maybe we want that box, sent to our door, and we open it up and go, oh, look what I sent myself. That's awesome.
Yes. Yes.
So that is wonderful. I can't wait for you to show off these boxes in community and take them everywhere, because everybody needs a little glitter in their lives, right?
Yes. They all need a little sparkle.
A little sparkle. I love it. So, as we're wrapping up here, and you've given us a lot of great information today about, as women, how we juggle things and how we juggle multiple things, how we're in survival mode, to how we create our journeys and how we live our passion, to you living your passion, to you creating a fabulous company. My last question for you would be, if you were to leave the listeners with some words of wisdom, what would they be?
So my role model and my inspiration is Audrey Hepburn. You're going to see it. You're going to feel it. You're going to see the color. You're going to feel it all over the information that we have. And one of my favorite quotes is that the older you get, you realize you have two hands, one to help yourself and one to help others. And so I just want girlfriends to know to use that other hand to reach out to their other girl.
Oh, I love that. That is so precious and heartwarming. I absolutely love that. Thank you, Sondra, for joining me on the Core Women podcast today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you'd like to know more about Sondra Diggs, please follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GlitterMeThisCo, and go to glittermethisco.com and check out all of her stunning gift boxes. If you need a strategic empowerment coach, contact me. If you want to tell your story of empowerment or how you have reconstructed your life to drive change, send me a video or an email of your story, providing permission to use it on my social media platforms. If you want to be featured on my podcast, reach out to me at info@corewomen.com. I want to hear from you and to get to know you. You are now part of the Core Women home. Let's get to know each other. Let's learn from one another. Please follow Core Women on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please let your women friends know about this podcast. If you write about Core Women in your social media posts, please hashtag Core Women. This is all about women. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about Core Women, and please stay tuned for continued growth of the Core Women movement. Let's grow and drive change together.